Hey, this is Queens Talking Reality. I am Elisa
I'm Farah.
and we are back and we are about to get into it with Real Housewives of Atlanta Sweet 16. It started off like a gangbuster busting open the door and they like I'm here and it was kind of juicy. What you think? Was it good?
Better than what I expected, but I don't know. I'm just like, I'm not feeling the new girls. I'm not feeling Cynthia with Kenya back. They need to go. So before we get into the scenes, how do you feel about the newbies and the oldies
The
intertwined?
newbies, I'm getting them confused. Like I keep having to tell myself, okay, this is Charles Oakley's wife. This
Yeah.
is the one that has the beef with Kenya. This is so like I
Kenya.
have to keep
Who they
remembering
got to be with
because
Kenya? Who
huh?
had to be with Kenya? Oh, which one had to be with Kenya?
Brent, the tall
Who's
one.
that? Yeah, I don't care.
Brent
I
is
know one is very short. One is short.
okay.
I don't know who's
Now
who.
Brent is the one. Brent is the one. It was only Brent and Kelly in the beginning. What's her name came at the end? Oakley. What's her name? Her name is
I don't know.
what's the
Oakley's what?
Charles Oakley's wife? She came at the end. What is her name?
I don't know, but who's who? There's one who got a lot of teeth. Something about her teeth. I don't know if she got veneers and it's too big for her mouth. And then there's a short one. It's just too
Uh-huh.
much Botox and fillers. I was very distracted from their faces. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
somebody join. So
Yes.
first season kind of scared me a little. I
Mm-hmm.
was very trouble. It was very troubling watching all that Botox and fillers. Those girls are doing too much to their faces. It was not pleasant to watch. Let's just say the camera should not be too close to their
I
faces.
think it's mostly though. I think it's mostly what's her name that got all the Botox and surgeries. I feel like Kelly is like the main one that has a lot of Botox going on in her face and
And
surgery. I don't even think it's Botox. I think that's surgery.
Kelly's a shorter one. I don't know who's
Yes,
who.
Kelly's the short one.
The other tall one too, the big T, to me, she has a lot too. I'm just happy to see like the oldies, like Kenya still look good in her face. Her butt looks the leg and booty
Mm-hmm.
weight is no longer matching for Kenya. Kenya, I don't know if she lost too much weight or put more fillers in her butt.
Yeah.
Her body look crazy. Cynthia
No, but
is,
her butt always been like that. They just her butt always been like that.
I know, but it looks like it's getting worse. To me, it looks like it's getting worse because there
It
was a
looked the
scene
same to
kind of
me.
walking.
Bad. Botched.
Yeah, it was botched. She was going in with pants, and I was like, "Ooh, child, look at
I
Kenya."
saw that.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
yeah, Cynthia needs to start dressing a little bit, not so evil. You're getting to be an elderly soon. I think now, Cynthia, you need to tone it down a little bit. I'm not to body shame anybody, but Cynthia, don't try to keep up with the fashion.
No. That's
And
ageism.
no, but I'm just saying, no, I think Cynthia looks good for her age, but her face looked a little weird to me. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure if she was doing fillers or Botox.
Mm-hmm.
Her face looked a little swollen, or I don't know if she gained weight. Portia looked great. Shamia looked great. But the two newbies and Cynthia needs to chill a little bit with the face surgery or whatever procedures they're doing. So let's get right into it.
Botox and fillers. Yes.
They need to chill because on TV it's looking crazy. So it started out with Shamia.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, I was watching with my mouth like this, gagged. I didn't know Shamia had money. I
Yes.
mean, I didn't know her husband was, I didn't know they had money like that. She was always Portia's best friend. I never knew
Yes.
she had the life that Portia was trying to get. I mean, I followed
That's what
Instagram.
people are saying. You think so? That's what people are saying. Do you think that Portia is trying to
Yes,
emulate Shamia?
I think she would want the life that I think she would want the life Shamia has. Why not? I mean, they're best of friends.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to the house. She's amazed. She's with, and these Atlanta women are into Africans because they figure the African men have money and they shower them, and I guess they treat them like queens. It seems like all of them are dating Africans. He loves. I mean, he's with her. We haven't heard any cheating rumors. They have a family. if you had a best friend, why wouldn't you say, okay, I would want that life or try to get that life? I think with Simon, she felt she was right
Yeah.
to Shamia. But I was shocked. I'm like, why was Shamia never on this show before? Shamia should have been on this show from the beginning of the season. Forget what show. Why was she
No,
never?
she was no, but she was supposed to be on the show. She said that they did offer her a peach for a while, but her husband did not. Her husband didn't want her. He didn't want to be a part of the show. And if you're married, you have to be. I mean, you have to come in married, but your husband, you have to show your family, and he didn't want to show himself or his family. And now he came around and he was like, "Let's go, let's do it."
I wonder why now. And that they need to be careful because you know when that happens, the cheating rumors are gonna come out. Everybody's gonna come out of woodworks to try to destroy that marriage. I think Shamia should have. I'm happy to see an inside look of her life. And one of the main reasons I started following her was because she had a daughter that had something. And I thought I was like, wow, she was in the hospital. I was like, oh, let me find. I don't have any kids that have any disabilities or health issues. But it was just to see her strength as a mother with a child that had, I
Yeah,
don't know, something wrong with the child. So I thought that was nice to see. But even following her, what I do like about Shamia, she seems very humble. I mean, on Instagram, because I didn't
yeah.
even know that type of money on Instagram. She wasn't flossing no Rolls
You
Royce.
have to be humble. For nobody, for her to not have shown anything when she was a friend of, and for her to not throw it in these chicks' faces, you got to be humble and real, like real authentic. To me, that shows that she's humble and authentic. To not have thrown that in people's faces all this time.
That's what I said. And then I saw Portia on Watch What Happened Lives, and someone asked her, "Oh, Shamia, oh my God, she's wealthy and have all this money. Was she always like that?" And it seems like Portia made it seem like that. It seemed like Shamia, she was from upper or middle class. She seems like she grew up having a lot of stuff. Because I think they were talking about their
She
birthdays.
said
And
that. I think her parents, yeah, her
okay.
parents own businesses or something, but she said she was middle class. Like she always had the good life, basically.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know. They should have had picked her more than Portia from this, I think. And her husband not wanting her to be on the show. Now she's on there. I just said, hope it doesn't get messy and tear her family apart. Because when you're not on social media, you can hide certain things, Things can be kept between me and my husband. But now when you're on TV, girls are like, we heard your husband's cheat. We heard
Hmm.
this. Now it's going to be like, we heard, or the people said. The
Yeah.
people said. Where before, whatever the people said, it could be between you and your husband. But hopefully it doesn't destroy their marriage.
Hmm.
I'm hoping not. So right now, Shimi is my favorite. I like her. I like her personality. She looks like she's fun. I think she's going to be the it girl for this season. I think so. I think she's
And
going to be the
speaking
it girl.
of like relationships, speaking of relationships and her husband and keeping that together, I hope that her and well, I don't know if it's too late, her and Portia's friendship stay intact because it just seems like to me, it definitely seems like Portia isn't as much as a friend as Shamia is to her. And
I
that's
used
what
to
I was picking up on, the vibes I was picking up on when Shamia was on Candy's Speak on It. I get the vibe that Portia has not been there for her like that.
What vibe? I didn't know about that. Well, there was a time when they had on the show where Dave had somewhat of a fallout. But maybe Portia could be. I mean, Portia's going through the divorce with Simon. I think
Well, they've been
Shamia's
asking
gonna come.
about it.
Huh?
They've
What you
been
say?
asking. They've been asking. That's been a hot topic, like amongst their like interviews right now and promoting. That's the number one thing that they've been asking about is their friendship because you could kind of see. Well, we'll get to the scene when Portia kind of like got in the middle of like her showing her Shamia showing her Rolls Royce, and people picked up on something then. But anyway, getting back to the tea, when Shamia was on Candy's Speak on It, Candy basically her and Candy met Shamia through Portia. Portia and Shamia were friends since 16 years old.
Yeah, I saw that. I know that from what day she said. Yeah.
So then afterwards, recently, when I say recently, I mean like say 5 years ago, when Shamia became a friend of, that's when her and Candy became like tight. And Candy was basically like, "Oh, I like her. She's mad cool or whatever like that." So they became tight, and now Shamia and Candy are best friends. And it just seems like Candy seems like she is a really good friend. Like she's
Yeah.
been showing up for Shamia when Portia has not. She's been there for when her kid was in NICU, when she was in like when Shamia had issues. Candy's the one that championed for Bravo to put Shamia on the show and to get her back on when Candy was making her exit. And you could just tell at that point when this, you could tell that Shamia and Portia are not talking about it and not going at it in the public with each other, but you could tell there's some underlining issues in their friendship. Because when she was telling about like how Candy was like, "Yeah, I advocated for you, I wanted to get you on the show," and then Shamia was like, "You are the friend that cheers for me when I'm not even in the room, I love you, whatever, whatever." And then she was like, "So what happened with Portia? Like when you told her that she was going to be on the show?" And she was like, "Yeah, Portia sent me a text and she said congratulations." And then it just got a little silent. Like you could tell like Candy was like, "Oh, okay, she sent the text." Oh, and then it just seemed so lame when Portia was basically like, "Oh, you on the show now?" When Portia was like, "Congratulations," but she wasn't the one who advocated for her. Candy was.
I think it's because Shamia is going to steal the show. Portia was and still is the it girl. With Shamia coming in, she's gonna be the fan favorite. She is the one that with the she is married. She's on the fabulous life. She's on the glitz and the glamour. I think she's going to take Portia's spot. Portia's coming in there thinking I'm gonna be the queen bee. There's a bunch of newbies. They're gonna bow down. And now Shamia is the glue because it seems like Shamia knows everybody, and Shamia is the it girl. Before the season started and they had showed that one first scene, it was all over some social media about Shamia. I didn't see anything negative.
Mm-hmm.
She's the it girl. I think Portia and Shamia's friendship is gonna go in separate ways out of due to jealousy on Portia's part. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. I don't
Jealous.
know if it's I don't know if it, I don't know if it's because of why is this okay? I don't know why this is showing these. Okay, anyway, I don't know why these old. Okay, but I don't know if it's. I think it's more so because Portia didn't really do nothing to put her on the show, and she probably knows Candy had a hand in that. And I also think it does cause conflict that now that Candy is like showing up as a friend and being a real friend, I do think that will cause some kind of like conflict. I think it also is because Candy is being that friend to her that Portia isn't. And I think, and also to me, it seems like they've been doing a lot of double dates. Can Shamia and her husband, and then Todd and Candy. So I think they've been doing, even when before Portia got married, Shamia was going out on vacations and doing all that fun stuff with Candy and Todd.
So I didn't know all this tape. But what I could see is eventually Portia is going to start being, if she's not already, jealous of Shamia. Because remember, knowing I'm bringing you into the show as a bestie. You have the fabulous life. I know you have the fabulous life. Everybody's thinking Portia's the one with the fabulous life. She was thinking, oh, maybe I want to come on the show and throw my fabulousness to everyone. Now she's getting a divorce. She already signed the show to be on. She already signed the contract to be on the show. Now there's no Simon and there's no wealth to show. Now you have Shamia who's coming with all the wealth, all of what we saw what Portia had. Portia no longer have it. Shamia is the it girl. Shamia has a personality. She's young and fun. She look good. She does her own. She does a lot of what is it, like commentating and in the basketball world. She has 2 kids.
Yeah, she got her own businesses. Yes.
Her husband look better than Simon. I mean, he ain't all that, but he look better than Simon. And he got money. And this is not like fake money from Africa. This is real legitimate U.S. citizen. ICE ain't coming after him. He's not gonna be detained. Portia could be a little salty. And she's going through a divorce at this time and she's single. I see it. Next scene. So there's this we may not go step by step with the scenes. We have what else? So there was a scene where they had Shamia and her 2 friends meeting up, and one of the girls made a comment about Portia.
Well, Shamia, that's not her 2 friends. That's not her 2 friends. That's the 2 new housewives. They getting to know.
I thought they were Shamia.
Shamia and the new housewives?
Yeah, she said they're her friends.
They not friends.
Yes, the girl said. She said we are friends. These are my girls. I like them. And then they went to dinner. And then they were talking. That's why she confronted the girl after. Michelle,
No.
they're friends. They knew each other. She knew them from the show.
No, because you know why I know that they not. I've been watching a lot of interviews. Maybe you haven't been watching it, but
Oh, I didn't even
Shamia's
know.
gonna have a falling out with Britt. Shamia's
Who's
gonna have a
Brit?
falling out with Britt.
Brit is a big T. Brit is a little.
Wait, are we talking about the same scene? The scene that I'm talking about is when they were out talking together at the restaurant, and that's when Kelly said, "Oh," she started talking about Portia and throwing like shots
Okay,
at her. Is that the scene that you're talking about?
Yes, I thought they were friends.
Okay, they're not friends. They just all happen to be newbies and housewives on the show. But Shamia and Britt are going to have a falling out.
I could have sworn she knew them before the show.
No.
Who told you they don't know each other? They don't know each other? I could have sworn they knew
I know
each
they're
other
gonna have a date. To me, okay, but
well,
anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, so the Kelly, that's Kelly. That's what you said her name was. She made a comment about Portia. You know, oh, she took that man's husband. So, I mean, what do you feel about her making that comment to Shamia? She ain't telling no lie.
I felt that it's real. I feel like it's real. Like people think that Kelly came in that scene and was trying to be all messy and stuff. But first of all, I'm not even messy like that, but I am a person that's opinionated, and I am going to give my opinion. So I can't even imagine if I was on a show that's paying me to show up and show out, I'm absolutely going to give my opinion. And to me, Kelly already said, like, I think her husband already has some cheating problem. Like, he already cheated on her and she had some issues with her husband cheating. So, of course, that's going to be a trigger for her. And you already, like, that's a hot topic. Why wouldn't I bring up? I know Shamia is her friend, but I would throw that out there on the table, especially if I'm a housewife and I'm getting a Bravo check. I'm going to be like, oh my God, like, she's stealing husbands. Let me keep my husband, close by on a lead. Like, I would have said something like that to get the pot, to stir this pot. Like, I absolutely would. She's doing what's supposed to be done.
I don't think she did anything wrong. Now, Portia admitted she reached
exactly.
I think Portia plotted on getting this man because you were filming with Fallon, even though you made it seem like Fallon's your friend, and she really wasn't because they only did it to bring her in. The fact is, when they went through going through the divorce, Portia admitted she reached out to Simon and said, "Are you okay?" Why did you reach out to Simon and not Fallon?
Yes.
If I was in a show like that, even I brought you in, if you brought the person in, you had some communication with them. Normally they go out to lunch together, they had pictures together, they do certain things before you bring them in as a friend. I would reach out to her and be like, "Girl, are you okay?" I wouldn't think to reach out to her husband unless I'm plotting. So I don't care what anybody
exactly.
That was her plot. She was like, "Oh, he ain't married no more. Let me see if I can slide his DM. He's vulnerable." And I already did
exactly.
Yeah, go ahead.
And to me, that's just a violation of girl code. Like, at the end of the day, why would you like you said, why would you reach out to him? Even if she's not your friend, she's still a colleague, she's a coworker. Why would you not reach out to her and support her in that moment of, separation, divorce? Like, she should be the one. If you're a girl's girl, she's gonna be the one. You shouldn't be reaching out to that man. You don't even know what happened. You don't know if he did her dirty. You don't know, but to be reaching out, she absolutely had ulterior motives with that. She wanted that man's money. And as you can see, she's trying hard to get it.
Yeah, and you didn't know him before.
She's trying to make up. Yeah, I think she's trying to make up for her first marriage, how she got nothing. She walked away with absolutely nothing. I think at this moment, she's trying to, get her lick with this new marriage because she got nothing from her first marriage. So she wants to make up for lost time and that loss in that marriage with Simon. She wants to get that man's money.
Well, from what they said from what we saw, there was a scene of her going to see the attorney, and it seems like they had a prenup. So Simon seemed very smart, And Simon probably know Portia was with him for his money. Probably Fallon too. She may not get that much because if he's smart enough, he did a good enough prenup that she don't come out getting too much. Maybe they had a prenup. You go back. If we get a divorce, you go with what you got. I go with what I got. I don't think she's gonna get that much out
I
of
don't
that.
know. To me, it seems like he's losing already because why is he like you see how it was with we're gonna get to the Drew scene, but you see how it was with Drew and Ralph. Like Ralph is in the basement. Whether he's banished to the basement, to the attic, to a bedroom, he's still in the house. Simon is outside of his house, having to serve papers. She's filming in the house. She like to me, it just seemed like he did something wrong, or she must have, like I said, she learned from that first marriage because she seemed to have an ironclad like prenup. Because there's no why is he outside of the house? Why is she able to live there? He can't even come. He can't even come in the house. She whatever she's doing, whatever her attorney's doing, they doing right. But her money is well spent with that attorney because it seemed like no matter what the outcome is going to be, he's going to end up having to either sell that house and she's going to get half of the proceeds, or either they're going to have to or either she's just going to get the house all out.
Well, from what I remember, there was a situation where she claimed he came in the house. They were gunmen. We don't know if that's factual. That was alleged. And also the houses where she films, supposedly, she does a lot of those Amazon things. She does a lot of filming in her house. So supposedly that could be considered her business workspace. So maybe that's why she's still in the house. But him not being able to be there, I don't know. Maybe he chose not to be in there. I don't know. We don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe
no, he did not choose. No, he didn't choose to not be there. No. You see how he acted? He'll be like a Ralph. He gonna be somewhere in there. I don't even think he wouldn't be in no basement. I don't know what the hell going on with Ralph and Drew, because neither would I. If we gotta stay in this house, it's gonna be water roses up in here. Ain't no way I'm gonna be banished to the basement. But moving right along, I agree with Kelly.
You can't say because you don't know how that basement could be big, luxurious. I don't think it's a regular basement. He don't mind staying. She said they had a separate entrance. That basement, it's only him.
True.
I don't think it's a regular basement. That basement is probably like a freaking penthouse. I'm assuming it's beautiful for me down there.
True. And I guess that is good. Like if I don't want to be next to my spouse, I would absolutely like banish myself to the basement. If it's like some type of water roses, I probably wouldn't want to be on the same level. I probably would want to be on the West Wing or whatever if I'm getting a divorce.
Yeah, I don't think it's like how we think it's a basement. I think it's their own privacy. The kids could run downstairs, see their dad, run back up. He could have women down there. She could have separate entrance. So I see, and it shows a lot too of him still wanting. Is he still wanted to work things with you, or he can't afford to move out? Neither one of them could afford to move out. That's what I think. Neither one of them could afford, because
that's what I get too.
I don't even want to know you in the same facility. I don't want to know you even downstairs.
Yeah.
So I think they can't afford neither one of them, including Drew. And I think with Drew having 2 kids, it's harder because she would have to get space for 2 kids.
Yeah.
But Ralph, as the man, which normally what happens, the man will be like, like Kyle's husband, we are the people, the men are the ones that normally move out and get a bachelor's pad. So the fact that he's not able to move out says a lot. He can't afford to move out. So it's one of those situations, look, we need one of us to afford, so let's cohabitate with each other because we can't afford to move out. That's how I see it.
Yes. Okay, so now what do you think in that scene, in the scene with Shamia, Kelly, and Britt at the table, because that's the talk of the town too. In that moment when Kelly said, oh, Portia's stealing people's man or whatever, do you think that Shamia had Portia's back? Do you think it was wrong? Do you think Shamia wasn't being a friend in that moment?
I think she did have Portia's back. She didn't have to go into depth, stand up for Portia, but she's like, you don't know the story. Let's not talk about it. I think she did. And the reason why I say she had Portia's back is she didn't say anything negative about it. And she kind of told, look, you don't know the story. Get to know Portia. I think she did have Portia's back. I mean, watch what happened live. Portia thought she had her back. And then that man that was sitting next to her said, or that woman, whatever it was, sitting next to her said, oh, no, she didn't. I think she had Portia's back. I think she did because she didn't.
She was saying, or he. Yeah, he or she. Wait, who was that? Oh, that was what's her name? LaRoche. That's the person. That's
Yeah, I don't know
her
how
name.
to.
I don't know if she goes by her or him.
Who is she?
So yeah,
I,
LaRoche was basically saying that if that's your friend and your name is brought up in a negative way, like that person should already automatically know that you shouldn't even be allowed to bring up Portia's name in that sentence. Like you shouldn't even be allowed to. You should already know not to bring any negativity about my friends. It shouldn't even come out your mouth.
I don't believe that. People gonna say what they want to say, whether it's your friend or not.
Me
It's how.
neither.
Yeah, it's how you respond that lets them know next time. You know what I'm saying? How you respond the first time will let them know, can I continue talking badly about your friend or no? Because Shamia did confront her after. First of all, Shamia is a good friend because she told Portia what happened. That was one. She didn't have to tell Portia anything. And she confronted the girl right before her birthday party and let her know, look, I didn't feel comfortable about you talking about Portia. Portia's my friend. So she had Portia's back.
But no, I I do think that Shamia was trying to like backpedal and make it right just in case. I think she did because I would do that too. I would probably overanalyze the situation later when I get home after that whole sit down at dinner or whatever they were doing with Britt and Kelly. If I was Shamia, I would think about it later and be like, oh, people might come for me online saying I'm not a friend because she said that crap about Portia. Let me go check her and double check her and let her know don't talk about my friend like that. But I do think Shamia thought about it and then went back and checked Kelly to say, don't talk about my friend like that. But she did what either way, if that were me and somebody talked about my friend, I know how I am. I'm not gonna be like, bitch, don't talk about her. Shut up. Get her name out your mouth. I'm gonna be like, why would you even say something like that? Like you don't even know the circumstance. Like I know me, I would check them in the way Elisa checks people. Like, why would you even say that? You don't even know the information. What do you know? Tell me what you know. Oh, you wrong because you don't know it. So you don't even have a right to have an opinion when you don't know the intel about what's going on. So I know that's how I would check it, but I'm not gonna be like, bitch, don't talk about it, get her name out
Yeah.
your mouth. Like that's stupid.
And I'm also the friend that's gonna let you run your mouth. I want to know what you think of my friend. So, oh, you really don't like her. Oh, that's what
Yeah.
you really. These are the rumors you're gonna be spreading. This is the crap you're gonna be starting. I'm gonna be listening like, okay, oh really? And then I might defend my
Mm-hmm.
friend. Girl, let me tell you, she coming for you. I'm gonna listen. I'm not gonna comment, but I want to know what you really think of my friend because then I know you're two faced.
Mm-hmm.
I think Shimia handled it well. I don't think she wasn't Portia's friend. She didn't engage in the conversation. She was like, "Yeah, girl." She didn't agree. I think she had Portia's back.
Yeah. And at the
What
end of the
more?
day, you're on Housewives of Atlanta. You're here to stir the pot. You here to have a little conflict, even if it's fake conflict. Let me get your opinion. Let's put it out on the table and then I'll check you. I'm not gonna shut you down and then the
Yeah,
conversation boom ends. No, we need some tea. We need some drama. We need some juice to get the paychecks, to get the money train going.
we
Okay?
need a scene, and I think Shamia is gonna be one to kind of like bring things out in the open, even with the situation. I like Shamia because I feel like she's gonna be the one to we'll see to make those scenes happen. Kind of like, oh, no one's saying something. Well, what about you, Drew? Are you sleep? Well, we're gonna talk about later how she threw Drew like put it out there about Dennis. So I think that
Yeah.
Shamia may be that one person that's gonna kind of like put things out there, either to stir the not really stir the pot, but like,
Yes.
look, let's talk. Like, hello, we know what's going on. Don't try to act like this is a
Mhm.
secret. Like, let's talk. I think she'll be that person. So what
Yes.
else happened in that is episode?
Okay. So then
Mm.
Kelly, and when she showed the scene with her daughter, and then she gave her like, I guess what? How old is she? 6. She gave her 6 Birkin bags or whatever bags. I wasn't really much. When the kids come on the
She didn't
scene,
give her
I have to
Birkin.
fast forward it.
She didn't give her Birkin. She's like, I ain't
What
giving
she
no Birkin.
gave
She
her?
gave her 15 purses. I mean, they were all expensive purses.
What kind of purses?
I mean, designer Chanel. I saw. I don't remember what else bags. I don't. I wasn't really paying attention. It was just a bunch of bags on after bags. It was. I think it's okay. That's what she gonna do her kid. I don't know her. I know she's the isn't she the waffle chick? I don't know if she wants to make you chicken and waffles or if it's just waffles.
Yes. Yes. She's the boss. She's that boss bitch. She's the boss bitch of the crew.
Oh, so her business is very profitable. Waffles.
I mean, it sounds like she got a syrup, she got waffles, she got like cookbooks. It seemed like she's very well, like, branded, and seemed like she got money coming in, many streams.
Well, I never heard of her. That doesn't mean anything. There's a lot of people I haven't heard of. I mean, that was for a scene. That was definitely, I want to show my wealth. I want to show, I'm elite of Atlanta by showing all this stuff. I mean, a lot of kids, people now,
Hmm.
their birthday or their kid's birthday, they show their wealth. That was another thing. I was like, oh God, this is just one of those scenes. I want to show how much money I have because I spent maybe $10,000 on purses for my daughter. I really didn't care about that scene.
Exactly. That was dumb. That was dumb. Unless, I mean, they say purses appreciate in value. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe I'm not a person. I'm not gonna buy 10, $20,000 purses. I might buy 1,000 or whatever, but I'm not gonna buy $20,000 purses and then a multitude of them, because that with that you could do a down payment on a house. But so I know it ain't that much appreciation. It ain't a house. So I wouldn't have done no dumbness like that.
I mean, that's what her daughter wanted, I guess. I mean, whatever. I didn't really think the scene gave anything, to be honest. They could have just not even put that on there. But I think it was to show her wealth, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't think much of it.
Hmm. So then Drew and the next scene was Drew and with Ralph in the basement. That's when they showed him actually. It's so funny. The cameraman is so messy. Like the way they even show the footage, it's like they'll show it and it's like you looking downstairs. That's why to me it's almost like I'm thinking of like how somebody's like banished, like a kidnapper throw somebody into like the cellar, because they had the camera aimed downward into the basement, like where the steps are and the
Yeah,
doors.
it looks scary. It kind of like, oh, he's down there in the dark, it's cold. It's cold and muggy, full of mold. Like that kind of stuff. But I doubt
Yeah,
it. I wonder if Ralph is gonna be filming this. If he's gonna be in any scenes, and if he is with who. Well, he was filming with someone. I don't know. Well, we'll see. So it was Kenya and Drew, and she was talking about music and making music with Dennis. I was a little like side-eyeing Drew. Oh, he was my life. He was really there when I was going through tough times. She was really bigging him up. I'm like, Dennis?
I would have absolutely, like, people are thinking like maybe Portia's still in love with him. Like Kenya was getting on my nerves in that scene. I mean, I know that was the end, so maybe we should I'm gonna wait for my opinion on that when we get to the end.
Which one? With Kenya? I think Kenya handled
Well,
well.
it
She
was
didn't
the end scene. Well, the end scene was when they were all talking about it, and that's when Drew kind of was going in like, oh, he made me, he gave me wings when I couldn't fly. Like when
Yes,
she
we
was
say
all
that
like
scene.
what you just said. That was the end scene.
Yeah, that was the end of that scene. Correct. That was in the end of the
No, the
episode.
end of the show.
No, that was the end of the scene of her and Kenya. Because the end of the show, Shamia asked her, oh, is it true you're dating Dennis? And that was how the scene ended. This scene was with Kenya and Drew. And this is when Drew was talking so highly of Dennis with Kenya.
Okay. Well, then I guess the way Drew feels, I yeah, I guess the way Drew feels is almost like maybe she do feel like, I don't know if whatever's going on with them, but I guess she does feel like Dennis was her saving grace in life or whatever, because she said it there, like you said with Kenya. Then she said at the end, right in Portia's face. So to me, it was just like double bad, like business, like with Drew. That's just bad business.
Well, she said to Kenya that she did reach out to Portia. And Portia said it was okay to work with Dennis. Now, how true that is, I don't know. But Portia also mentioned that she didn't know Drew was going to be filming with Dennis. This was off the scene. So off, not on, I think she was on a talk show, some show. She said, oh, I wasn't aware that Drew was going to be filming with Dennis. I just want to know how did they, well, at the end, we'll talk. There was something else that was mentioned towards the end of the episode with Drew and Dennis, but I just want to know how they connect. I don't think they're dating and sleeping with each other, though. You think?
I think, to me, I feel like it's either or. like to me, I feel like it is Dennis might have a motive too, like to be on camera. And I think he might have did something like that. He might have a motive, but I do think with Drew, I think it was he reached out. I forgot how I remember seeing the reason as to how they got in touch with each other. But I think it's because he has a project or something. Matter of fact, Shamia said that too. Dennis reached out to Shamia also. And she seemed kind of regretful too that she didn't take him up on that offer. But she said she did it to keep her friendship with Portia intact. But Shamia acts. And I guess Dennis has like he does movies too, apparently. So he has a scene in a movie that he wanted Shamia to read for. So he reached out to Shamia also to read for a movie scene to be in. And Shamia said she turned it down. And
I said,
then the interviewer asked Shamia, like, what'd you say?
I said Tubi movies. Tubi.
Ah,
Like movies.
maybe, yes, maybe. So then it seemed like Shamia was regretful. So I don't know. Dennis might got some money where he's putting like millions of dollars into these movies, into music or whatever, because Shamia did seem kind of regretful that she didn't take him up on that offer and that she chose her friendship over being in Dennis's movie. Because the interviewer did ask Shamia, like, do you feel like that was a good thing you did? And she was like, well, I did it out of friendship and I might be regretful later on, but something else will come along, maybe better. Maybe something in store is better for me. So to me, I felt like Shamia did have some regret. If she was not friends with Portia, she would have absolutely read for that movie for Dennis. What's her name? Drew just don't give a damn. She's not tight with Portia like how Shamia is. So Shamia would have done that movie with Dennis, but she chose not to. She chose the friendship. Drew ain't choosing the friendship with Portia over money and her career. She really feels like Dennis is going to put money behind her music, so she's going forward with it.
Well, Drew don't have the kind of money Shamia have. Shamia has the opportunity to pass up things, because you got to think Drew need money. So she's she was an ambassador for Go Ahead Naked Hair. Her and Portia had a friendship. But at the end of the day, Portia ain't put that kind of money in her pocket. So if you got Dennis over here saying, look, I'm going to back you. I'm going to get you to open up a tank. I'm going to have you do shows. I want to do this. Well, why not? If nobody else is checking for Drew is in a movie here and there. But if she's not able to get producers and people back her movie and her music, and here comes Dennis, then why not? And another thing is, why is Dennis going to the cast and not going to Portia? That's supposed to be a baby mother. Why wouldn't you try to get her an extra bag?
No, I didn't hear no. A lot they ain't doing that. Ain't no baby's father gonna be going to the baby. Then you trying to have it like some Brady Bunch type of setup. They don't. No man is doing these men, especially if we broken up. You think that he gonna come to me and ask me my opinion? What?
It looks like, from what it seems like, they have a good co-parenting and a good friendship.
No, co-parenting, yes, but Portia already let us know that Dennis is for Dennis. At the end of the day, he is not. He will be with her friends if he chooses to be with her friends. He's at the end of the day, he's still a man, and that's what I got from Portia. He is not going to ask Portia's advice, go to her. Dennis is doing Dennis. He ain't checking in with Portia. He's only checking for her when it comes to Pilar.
And the other two girls, Brittany and Kelly, mentioned Dennis. One of them mentioned, I think it was Brittany, that she dated Dennis years ago. And then the other one, Kelly,
she lying.
Why is she lying? She said she dated him and gave her a diamond necklace.
I do not think, come on now, some man coming up on a first date. Y'all go on a first date, he came with $1 million necklace or whatever, $500,000 necklace. I do not believe. And the way Dennis is, he's not like a Simon. Like he's not like Dennis may not be that great looking, but he got swag. He got he's humorous. Like to me, he's not going on no first date with no $500,000 necklace. And even he didn't say nothing because you could tell he commented afterwards on social media. So Dennis loves to be in the spotlight. Like he's not gonna confirm or deny it, even though it's gonna make him look like a lame. But he's like, like they talking about me. I love it. I don't care if they saying I gave her $1 million necklace and I'm looking like a simp. Like he just loves that his name is out there. I know how Dennis is. I know that type.
So what about the other one? He said she said he slid her his DM. She put a bikini picture up and he slid her DM and made a comment on her about her picture. I mean, that's
I believe that. Like that's men. That is a man's like that's what they do. Like to me, that's natural. They do that, especially if you're not together anymore. Then him and Portia are not together. This is free reign for Dennis. Dennis don't give a damn. Dennis is a nice guy, but at the end of the day, he's a man and he's gonna be led by his hormones and just being a man.
Yeah, she ain't gonna give a damn about her. All right, so next scene. What was else going on? Have we gone to Drew's birthday
I mean, we
party
talked
yet?
about Drew. We talked about you remember the scene with Shamia and Portia when they were in the strip club. She basically told Portia at that moment that Kelly took some shots at her. Like, she was being a friend of Portia to let her know, like, this is what happened. Here's the tea. And then she took her out at a strip club because that's the scene where I guess Portia was feeling down about her divorce. Do you really think that Portia is really hurt and was really in love with Simon?
That was a like question because there was a scene she cried. We didn't talk about that. She said she believed everything that he said. I think in love with him, no. But I think she was like, okay, I found a man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna fix him up because Dennis was looking better. Dennis was starting looking better. He
Yeah,
started staying. She
I
started dressing
know.
him up. She was like, okay, I have a man who's going to take care of me, and I'm gonna live like a princess.
Mm-hmm.
A queen. I'm gonna be an African queen. So I do think she
Yes.
loved what he was gonna give her, and then now it's gone because you remember she put him around her kid. That's another thing. Now you got to deal with your daughter, maybe asking, "Where's Simon? Where's Simon? What happened to Simon?"
Mm-hmm.
So she had her
Yeah.
kid, her daughter around him. They never really spoke about kids, so I think that affected her. Meaning, oh, I envision my life a lot like Shamia, or I envision the wealth, the glam, or the trips and everything else, and maybe me not working as much as I have to. And now it's like, damn, this man is gone. My meal ticket. I got to start all over. Who am I gonna get? What other man am I gonna get with that type of money who's willing to spend that type of money on me? I think it all has to do with her missing that lifestyle more than I love this man and everything else. And he said the things she want to hear, like I'm gonna provide for you. Don't worry, baby. I'm gonna give you anything you want. I think she misses that
Yeah.
more than he was such a great guy.
I think so too. I think she was I do think she was more in love with the lifestyle more than him. And I think a lot of times, like we all want that. Like I don't know if she's necessarily trying to be like Shamia, but I feel like who doesn't want that lifestyle? I may not be trying to be like Shamia either, but you think I wouldn't love to have that lifestyle too? And I feel like Portia is like going to aim for that, which she did try to with Simon, and it just didn't happen. But it worked out for Shamia. She's living the fabulous life with her man and the lifestyle that she was given in that marriage. And I just feel like Portia, I feel like she was more in love with that lifestyle. And what woman doesn't want to be like treated like a queen, told like all these good things and positive affirmations, and then she fixed him up. You remember he started looking good. She started airbrushing his pictures, gave him
Yeah.
that swag. Like she did a lot for him. So, of course, along with the lifestyle, she bigged him up and made him look better and everything. So I see what she was trying to do. We all aspire for that along with love. So I think she grew into that. I don't think she necessarily loved him. And now it's all like the rug is being pulled out from underneath her. So to me, of course, it's going to be devastating. And that's why she's down the dumps. So all that crying and boohooing that she's doing, I believe she really is hurt. But I believe it's hurt over having the rug pulled from underneath you in this moment. Whether you loved him or not, your whole lifestyle is changing. Like he lied to you. He's a freaking immigrant. He's a scammer. Like all of that is like he lied to you. Like beside like you fixing him up and giving him that swag, it's like your whole lifestyle was a lie. It was built on scamming, and now it's all like being wiped away. I don't even know how she can keep that house. Like, I'm surprised that it's not like a Erica situation where the creditors aren't coming for that house. Like, I'm just surprised that he
You don't know.
obviously put things in place where it's like, it's in his name and they must can't prove anything, because I'm surprised the creditors ain't after that house.
They could still be. It's not too late. So, do you think Portia really had no idea what he was doing, like scamming and everything else? You think it was really like a shocker to her?
No, I don't. I definitely don't believe. I don't think she had any idea. I think he covered it up. And like she said, when she would go to the airport, I think he did have legitimate green cards, but I think the green cards were in other people's names. So she said every time they went to the airport, they would pull him to the side and bring him into a room. And a lot of times that happened to me. A lot of times when I go on vacation and you get randomly checked, and they bring you into a room. Yep, the other person can't come with you. They bring you into the room by yourself and they go through whatever. They've done that to me. I'm not an illegal immigrant, but at the end of the day, she's not going to know what goes on in that separate room. I know with me, what went on is they went through my bags and they just doing a random check. But who knows what they did with him? They wanted to check his paperwork or whatever. So I think it could have been kept hidden. And he seemed to be a good scammer because he's been scamming since the 80s. He's been getting
Hey,
green cards in other people's names since the 80s.
so if you think Fallon didn't know anything either?
No, because how would they know if you're getting green cards in other people's names and uh you're actually like what do you call it, a green card holder? You're actually legally here in their eyes. They wouldn't know because he has all of the paperwork, all of the green cards are in other people's names because he scammed it to get it. So if he's here and it seems like he's here legally, you're not going to know until it all catches up with you. And now it seems like it's catching up with him where Trump is in office and Trump is coming in like a gangbuster. Okay. He's laying a smackdown on all of these immigrants. So what he was doing before under the Biden administration, getting away with it, Biden, Kamala, they were all pro immigrants. They was giving them money, hand over fist, supportive, bringing them over in droves. So now that Trump is in office, it's hard to get away with all this illegal scamming when it comes to immigration.
So do you think he really had that wealth though? Like all that money, he did have that, or you think that was through scamming he was having? Yeah.
Via scamming. Via scamming.
Oh, so you don't think he had legitimate wealth then? Yeah, because they said he owes money or
No,
something.
it was kind of like the wealth that No, he had the same type of wealth that Erica Jane had with her husband. How her husband had that wealth. You can have wealth. You can have wealth. How Shamia's husband has wealth legitimately, and you can have wealth illegally, like Teresa's husband, like Joe Judice had the wealth. Like all these other scammers, they have wealth until you don't have wealth when it all crumbles down, when the government and the FBI is on your ass. And then it all comes crumbling down. And that's what's happening to Simon right now. Everything's crumbling down around him because he got all of that wealth he got through scamming. And Portia said that on, if you watch What Happens Live, Portia did say that Shamia's husband gave her clues, that gave her the red flags that Simon was a scammer, and she ignored it. She's like Erica Jane on a different level. Like they love that wealth. They just want to turn a blind eye.
She didn't say that he was a scam, but she said that he did give her some warnings about him. I don't know. She never said what it was that Shamia's husband
She didn't say scamming, but I mean, warnings that, he wasn't legitimate. I mean, what other warnings do you need when you're dealing with a scammer? He's given some type of hints. Maybe that he's an immigrant. Maybe that it's all one. It's all one and the same. You're an immigrant. You got here scamming. You got your money scamming. So,
but now that you mentioned that, what do you think of that? Because if you're the husband, you know Portia for years, why didn't you be like, Portia, stay away from this man? Why did you let it go to this extent, knowing that this guy's no good? I mean, it seems like from what Portia
No,
said,
I would do it.
it doesn't seem like he
I
really
would
tried
do it
to
in a
warn her.
way how Shamia did it.
Not
No,
too
but
much.
Shamia did it, and her husband did it. And you saying Shamia's husband should have told her?
She said Shamia's husband gave her some red flags about Simon, but I don't think it was enough to make Portia second not go forward with him. So I'm saying if that's your best
No,
friend,
you gotta tread. You No, you got to tread. Even with me, I would absolutely. You think I'm gonna go to you and be like, "Stay away from him, get away from him"? No, you got to
yeah,
tread lightly because at the end of the day, he's gonna be in your ear. Yeah, she just jealous of us. She hates us because we have
yeah,
love, and she don't have the love. Like he's gonna be in your ear. I'm gonna be in your ear. I'm definitely treading lightly when it comes to my friend, even if she's
that's
not my friend, whether she's my best friend. I'm treading lightly when it comes to a woman and her man. Ain't no way I'm going to be like coming in, like swooping down, get away from him. No way. I'm leaving that alone. And
no,
I'm
you're
I'm
right.
gonna say what I gotta say in a very gentle way. Hopefully you pick what I'm putting down. Hopefully you pick it up. And if you don't, I know in my heart I did my part. And that's all I can do. But I'm not coming in like, gangbusters,
Yeah,
letting
because
you
that
know. No way.
ruined their friendship. Oh, hi, GH. Simon has a green card, but Simon isn't his real name. Jeez. He filed for citizenship under the Biden Harris administration, was denied, and was put on the deportation list from them. Jesus Christ. Damn, it's not even his real name. Lord, his name is what? Kushafa? Oh my Lord Jesus. All right, so next scene. What's the next scene? What else is going on in this episode? Shamia's birthday party.
Well, I think that's when they go to Shamia's house gathering. And then yeah, they go to the house gathering, and that's where she talks to Kelly to let her know what time it is, and don't talk about my friend Portia like that. You was wrong, and she wanted to nip that in the bud. To me, like I said earlier, I think Shamia thought about it, and she wanted to do damage control.
I agree, and I think she did. She did well. She did well. Talking to her, and the girl received the world. She was like, "What are you talking about? I can talk about your friend if I want." It wasn't like she was like, "All right." So I think that was a good scene. What else
Yeah.
happened? I mean, Shamia's birthday party was.
Then this is when we're
Oh,
introduced. We're introduced
oh,
to what's
Charles.
her name, Angela Oakley, in this scene.
So what do you think about her? She needs to go.
I didn't see enough of her. I do want to see Charles Oakley. I do want to see how their the dynamics of their marriages. I am interested in seeing what she brings. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of her because they brought her in or edited her in at the last moment of the episode. So I mean, it was cute. What you think people thought? Like that was a talk too about like how Charles Oakley let her know that her wig was lifting in the glue, and then she went online on her social media like, ladies, let me know what glue is good because I was caught out there with my wig lifting. So I mean, I thought she should come out with a wig glue after that episode if you really want to capitalize and make money.
I mean, I don't know how these women handle Atlanta because Atlanta be hot. Let's be clear, Atlanta be hot, and they be. I wear wigs. I don't put no
Mhm.
glue because I don't want to embarrass myself. Okay, so I'm not putting no glue to hold nothing down and for it to fall off my head and look crazy. I mean, down my forehead.
Mhm.
A lot of them, their laces be jacked up and not looking good, and it's hot out there. I mean,
Mhm.
that was nice. He was honest. I
Yeah.
don't. I felt like he was uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't know if this is the right show for her. She seems older. She seems more mature. I feel like her, Cynthia, Kenya is with the mess. They're a little bit more mature for this show. I think this is going to get very petty. These youngers are coming. Phaedra try to fit in. They're into the dancing, the twerking, and everything else. I don't think this is their crowd. I really don't see her. Her personality, from what I saw, was somewhat of Cynthia. I don't think they're not part of this group. And it really has nothing to
Mhm.
do with age, it has to do with personality. Because Phaedra is
Yeah.
really newbies and she's like turned up, having a good time. I just think they don't have like young personalities, young spirits. They're more, not that they act old, but this is not a show for them. So one thing I have to say, I
I
think it
don't
was
even see why. Yeah, I don't see why they even have Cynthia on the show. I don't know. I guess Cynthia they just
Yeah,
giving her a check just to give it to her. I don't. Cynthia should not be. She's just a waste of space to me. Like she's just gonna not do nothing. She don't create scenes. She don't bring scenes. It's almost like they gotta give her the scene to do it, force her to do it. You can kind of see that it's manufactured with her. A lot of times when she was in the previous episodes when she was a housewife, it's about time. Like she needs. They need to do away with her. But listen. I'm all about people getting a check. So wherever she can get in, fit in. I don't think she fit in, like you said.
I think they should let go. They should let go of Cynthia and bring some another person in if they need to. Charles Oakley wife need to go and keep Kenya there to kind of check these bees. Like boop boop. I'm still top. I think we need Kenya to kind of put them in line.
Yes.
I think she may not act like them, but she could definitely read them. So I think Kenya needs to say, but Cynthia that
Mm-hmm.
needs to go. So is it me? But I don't know if it's Brittany's husband. I what do you think of him? He seemed a little questionable. It's just my opinion. Did
Not
you see
Brittany's husband. You talking about? I think was it Brittany's
somebody?
husband? Oh yes, 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 Brittany's husband. He's a little broken wrist, right?
Yeah, I saw him. I was like, oh, isn't that her assistant? I don't know. In Atlanta, you never know. But he looked like he might swing both ways. Just my
Yes,
opinion. My opinion. He looks a little
I
bit.
think so too. I got that vibe. I definitely got that vibe too. That there was definitely some sugar in that tank.
Yeah, and I think eventually he's around Kenya. Kenya comes off as a little bit of a hater. Let's be honest. Even with the whole situation, I'm engaged, I'm
Kenya,
married. Kenya, your girl. Yes. She comes off a little bit like a hater. Like if somebody's married or something, she kind of, I think if she's around that husband a little longer, she's going to probably mention that sweet tank. I think with her, when somebody says they're
as
married
she
and
should, as she should,
she looks like she looks
she
at things.
should bring that up. I would, yeah.
Yeah, but she looks like the type that when there's ever a married couple, she looks at things that could possibly be wrong with the husband or the relationship and brings it out. She just looks like the hating type when people are married, except for Candy.
So what do
But
you think about the scene when they you could see there was a little tension there, and that's where because later on Kenya and Britt are going to have a falling out. So
mhm.
in this scene, that's when they talk about the ring. Do you think that Kenya was intentionally being shady?
Yes,
Let me
this is
just
what
turn
I'm
on this
telling you.
light because it's getting dark. It's getting dark in here.
Yes, this is exactly what I'm telling you. Kenya is a type that gets shady when there's a married person there. She showed her ring. She was kind of like showing off, oh, like this is my second ring, 10 carat egg. Right then, Portia went into hater mode. Hater mode, like, oh, she got $10,000. What does her husband do? Where he got the money from? Yes, that's what I'm saying. She right then and there got into hater mode. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
she's the only one that's married, and Charles Oakley's wife. The other one's getting a divorce.
But I don't know.
Drew.
I would question somebody who got two wedding rings on their hand, and then you tell me it was from your first marriage. Why would I think that you got married twice? I think Kenya did innocently ask a question that Britt took offense to. I don't think Kenya. I know Kenya could stir the pot and create a scene and do what she's supposed to do to get her check that Cynthia and the rest of them should be doing. But I don't think in this moment Kenya was doing that. I do think I would get confused too, and I would ask, why you got two wedding rings on?
I think it's the delivery. Kenya's delivery was, to me, I agreed with Brittany. Kind of came off a little bit hater. It's a delivery, like, oh, you have two wedding rings? And she said more. I think she did say something else. Oh, yeah, something else she said. But she was being shady. She didn't say just about the ring. She's made another comment.
Mm-hmm.
Kenya could be a hater. She said, GK Kasha, I think Kasha said the girl was only wearing one ring, which is why she asked if she was married or engaged. I think she was only wearing one, yeah, she wasn't wearing a wedding band. She was wearing an engagement ring. So I think that's
But
the
was she
Kenya.
wearing two? Why would the topic of two weddings or whatever be brought up? Wasn't she wearing two of something?
No,
No.
she was wearing one ring, but she wasn't wearing a wedding band. So it looked more like an engagement ring.
Oh,
That was it. She's like, no, this is
okay,
my
got
second
it.
wedding ring. And Kenya's like, wedding ring? Girl, you're engaged. It's not a wedding band. People do whatever. I mean, when I was married, I didn't have a wedding band. I had like a big wedding engagement ring. It looked like an engagement ring. It didn't look like,
Mm-hmm.
traditionally you wear an engagement ring, wedding band. She just had what looked like the engagement ring without the wedding band. Again, nobody's business. That's what she chose to do. Kenya was being shady.
I would still ask. There's no way you're gonna be on the show where I'm getting a check and we know we're supposed to be bringing to the show. I would absolutely ask questions about that ring.
I wouldn't even give a damn to ask questions about that ring. I wouldn't care.
When I'm getting a check, I would.
That shows Kenya again envious when somebody else is married.
No, absolutely not.
Kenya seems like always has an issue with married people for some reason. She throws little shades here and there. That moment showed. I mean, the girl was bragging, $10,000 ring, $10,000 ring. She was
Exactly.
bragging. So let her brag.
Mm.
She wanted to throw shade. Nobody else did it. Why was Kenya the one to throw the shade? You're being somewhat of a hater. Next scene.
The next scene is when they all got together, and I think they all went to what was it? No, that's when the husband brings out the Rolls Royce for Shamia.
Well, Shamia came
And
out.
then
Well, Portia was late.
yeah, she.
Number one, Portia was late.
And do you think she was purposely late? Like a lot of people had a problem with that scene too. Like, let me just I gotta get this light right. Sorry, yeah.
I mean, she said to Shamia traffic and everything else. I think she
was saying another problem that I think showed that they have some kind of tension, her and Shamia, but she was saying that Shamia knew that she couldn't film in the house because Simon had put like an order of not order of protection. What do you call it? Like a cease and desist against Bravo. So they couldn't film in the house where Portia was. So in order for the film crew to film, they had to film in her mother's house. And apparently her mother's house, or Portia's old house, really is what it is, was too far. So she was saying that Shamia knew that. So that's why there's really no beef in that, because she knew that she was so far away and the film crew had to film her in her mother's place. And then from her mother's place, then she went to Shamia's party. But everyone knew that she was going to be late because she was filming there.
Well, they act like that on that show. It's like, where's Portia? Where's Portia? And she came late.
Yeah.
And when she said it to Shamia, I'm so sorry, the traffic and stuff. Like, they made it seem like she was taking so long to get ready with that hair, with her damn hair, that's why she was late. And then you could tell Shamia, she goes, I'm so sorry. She was like, all right. You could tell she was getting Shamia ready and apologizing why she was late. And Shamia did not seem happy. Like, oh, girl, I get it. You could see Shamia was like, all right. But the whole scene with the Rolls Royce, Portia definitely bombed and came. That's not your moment. And Shamia said it in the confession, like, it's my moment. Thank you. I felt Portia came to upstage that moment because the one you arrived late. So it's like, oh, Portia showed up. The newbies met Portia, it seems like, at that time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, here goes. And Portia was the queen bee of Atlanta Housewives. After Portia, I would say maybe Phaedra. And then maybe Kenya third. So Portia is that girl, like, oh, we can't wait to see Portia. Maybe they never even came close. Maybe they're not in her circle. To them, they could be fans. To them, Portia's somewhat, I'm going to be on a celebrity of Atlanta. So they were waiting to see Portia.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see Portia. I want to see how she look, what she got on, how she look. So when she came in, I think she did steal Shamia's moment. Because, oh my God, Portia's here. And then Shamia's looking, she comes in the car. Hey, I get you could be happy for a friend, but someone said confessional, you should have slowly walked and act like you part of the crowd, like I would have. Yeah, and you act like you had a Rolls Royce. Didn't Simon give her a Rolls Royce? You acting like you never even seen a Rolls Royce. That was another thing. Why you all animated? Oh my God, look in the car. I would not have done that. I would have stood, walked my way. Oh, she got a car. Congratulate my friend. If I want to go in there and look at it, I would have done it after. So I felt that moment, did she intentionally do it? Probably. She wanted to make a scene. It's kind of like, I'm here.
I think so. I think based on what Portia said on her Breakfast Club interview, I do think that Portia didn't think. Yeah, she talked about that. And she said, like, she is that friend. Yeah, she was saying that she is that friend that was like, will cheer for her friend. Like, so, like, she saw like when she came up, I guess Shamia was twerking and she was just like came up, oh, let me twerk too. Like she said she wouldn't think it was a problem because that is her friend and she was relishing in the moment just like Shamia was. And she was just saying like she was happy for her. And I could definitely see that. Like I think sometimes Portia can be a little airheadish and not know like not have any self-awareness. Because I do have some friends like that. I know a friend that would do that and not and be like airheaded and not and be like thinking like no, and then when I have to say something and be the bad person like hey, this is my moment, like, and I know it wouldn't come off right because they're not aware of like they're not self-aware and they're not aware of like this is my moment. So I can absolutely see that happening to me, and then it will turn into something because then I would have to say something like, "Hey, girl, this is my moment. Like, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit later, but let me get the film." Like, they filming. Like, I guess they can't say that because it's breaking the fourth wall or whatever they call it. So I do believe that I think Portia just sometimes she got that airheaded thing going on with her where she's not aware of like her surroundings and what the hell's going on and pick up and get some cues and know like this isn't the time to do that. Wait till she has a moment. She's a new housewife. She's, this is her first actual scene of like showing her family dynamics, what her husband does, what he's doing for her, and the love that they have for each other. And then you come in this scene when you've been here already for the past whatever 14 years or whatever. I don't think she's aware. And I think that Shamia in that moment should have said something, but I guess you still, tread lightly. Me, I would have said something, and then it probably would have been a little argument. Like she would have been
Yeah.
offended. And that's how it happens. Because I know a friend like that. I know a friend like that would do something like that. And then every time I speak on it, it turns into something.
I mean, I don't think Jimia handled it well. I don't think she should have said anything because then it could have literally went back
Exactly.
the whole night. I just think Portia did steal that moment because again, everybody kind of lost focus of the car. It's like, oh, Portia's here. Oh, look at Portia. What did she wear? I think it did kind of sway. And my thing is like, Shamia was acting all crazy. You've been married to this man about 10 years. This is the first time he gave you a Rolls Royce? Like, explain to me. Like, I didn't understand the excitement and the big to-do. He's wealthy. I'm assuming you got a lot of cars. I mean, I think it's a $500,000 car, but I would assume he's given her cars in the past. I think that moment was for the show. Not that he didn't give it to her.
I was just getting ready to say that.
Yeah, it was for the show.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that.
Wealth. Yeah, I think it was another one. Oh, let me show my wealth.
Subtly. Like, I think she wanted to show it subtly, like not be like braggadocious about it, but show it in a way where it's like, oh my God, look what I got. Look how happy he makes me. Oh my God, I'm so surprised. Like, I think she's been through it before, but she's acting like this is the first time and she wants us to see the happiness that she's probably used to, these type of gifts and cars and stuff. So
yeah, what he's been buying. I'm like, really? Like, I know you have 10 of these already. Like, what is the big deal about this one? This is not any different than the other car. So I think maybe it should have been It should have been something else, maybe a diamond bracelet, something else. Because the car to me was like, okay, like I know you have this car.
No, I don't think it should have been a diamond bracelet. You got to do something. No, you got to do something grand. You got to do something grand. That's the only thing he could do unless you come out with a plane or something. Like it has to be a car.
Buy her island or another house, something, bro. I don't know. That was not impressive to me. I mean, I don't have nobody could afford to buy me that, but I know because if they were just married first year and he got her that, maybe 2-3 years, I could say, oh, like when Simon gave that to Portia, I could say, oh, or like Quad got it from King. Okay, but you've been married with him for 10 years. You tell me he never got your Rolls Royce within 10 years. He hasn't either. So somebody left a comment. Ooh.
Yeah. So, Keisha said that Shamia got married in 2017.
Exactly. And he not getting your Rolls Royce, girl. Please. And Keisha said Portia doesn't have sense of awareness. It's about her. Yeah, Portia's very self-centered. And I think her coming into that Shamia was kind of like, here I am, guys. It's about me. Here I am. And make sure I get some nice pictures next to this Rolls Royce too. Like it was her moment.
Yeah.
Like it's Shamia's birthday, but yeah.
And she wanted to make a grand entrance. She was late. Yeah, exactly. She was late, and I think she also wanted to make a grand entrance and be seen, and it just flopped for
Yeah,
Portia because now that's like the
everybody
talk
didn't know.
of the town saying that she's not a good friend.
I wouldn't say she's not a good friend, but she's the kind of friend that she wants to be in the spotlight. And it's like, oh, Shamia, whatever. Like
She's
I'm
not a
here.
good friend. She is not. She is not a
Thank
good
you.
friend based on all of the information that has been coming out in Shamia's interview.
Oh,
If you read through the lines, I know that Portia has not been a good friend to her. She wasn't. Portia didn't even show up to her wedding when she got married in 2017. Portia wasn't there when she got married.
Portia was the one who's
Shamia was
married.
in Portia's wedding.
Yeah, I know
No,
that.
from what I heard, I didn't see the pictures. They said that Portia didn't even show up. Not only was she not in the wedding, she wasn't even there for her wedding.
Yeah, but there was a time they weren't talking. There was a time when the show they had a fallout. Shamia and Portia had a fallout. There was a time they weren't talking. I don't know how long, but they had a fallout on the show and they weren't talking for a while. So I don't know if it was on that time, but they did
I
not
guess
speak.
so. And then there was a scene, if you remember, and when they was accusing Shamia of being, I guess they was swinging with Todd. Portia was right there when I think it was Phaedra was saying that was spreading the rumor that Shamia and her husband and Todd and Candy were all swinging together. And Portia was sitting at that table when they were talking about Shamia. So I think that was part of the reason why Shamia and Portia did have a falling out because Portia did not stick up for her in that moment at all.
I mean, she may not. How does she know they're not swinging? You know people doing their bedrooms? I mean, somebody was saying that my friend was like, well,
I still wouldn't be, no, I wouldn't let that slide though. I'm still gonna, even if they are, that's not nobody else. That's my friend.
I'll be
That's
like, well,
not
I
a
don't
friend
know. We
of
don't
business.
know. I probably would be like, well, we all know. Let's not talk about this. But I'm not gonna go defend you. I don't know what the hell you're doing. You
Yeah.
could be. I would not defend. That is different. I'm not gonna defend someone about what they're doing in their bedroom because I could be your best friend and you could be swinging and sleep with multiple people and never tell me. So I would have to see.
No, no,
I have to see.
no. When somebody's bringing up stuff like that, oh wait, I'm got the wrong. When somebody's bringing up stuff like that and the person's not on good terms and you know it's somebody that's kind of like an enemy slash like frenemy or whatever, like there's no way that I would entertain that if you're talking against my friend and you're saying that my friend in her private lifestyle, like in her privacy, she's having swinging sessions and I know that person is against my friend. I absolutely would speak up in that moment.
That's true. So maybe that was the beginning of their fallout. So they all came together, everybody's looking, and then there was a time Shimi was like, oh, let's all go upstairs or wherever they went. Beautiful again. That was another beautiful setup. I was like, oh, all the people
Mm-hmm.
were impressed about her. Everyone was impressed. Even Cynthia. I'm like, Cynthia never been to her house. She know that was the first time
Yeah,
Cynthia been to her house. And it was beautiful.
I'm sure
So
it
they,
was.
huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cynthia acted like the first, but her
I'm
house
sure
is
it was Cynthia's first time. I'm sure it was
gorgeous.
Cynthia's first time because Cynthia's not like a good actress. She brings nothing to the show. To me, I don't think she's gonna start playing it up for the camera. That was Cynthia's first time.
Yes. So now they're all sitting together there. I mean, well, before then, Portia walked into Kenya. Oh, this is the thing I didn't like. This was kind of like, oh God, here we go. He had something said, confronting the person. So here goes Cynthia, and oh yeah, well, I found that Kelly said this about Portia, and here goes Kenya now going to Kelly. Oh well, I heard you said this about Portia, and now they start talking, and this when Portia walked in to the inside the room to talk about them, kind of like, hi, I don't know you. Oh yeah, you know me, girl. So now Portia acts like she don't know who Kelly is. Kelly's like, yeah, you know who I am, which I assume Kenya does. I mean, Portia does. And she
Yeah.
decided to bring them all upstairs, and they just started going back and forth about it. It doesn't seem like much was resolved because it seemed like right after they jumped right into Drew.
I think so. Like I think what happened was, first of all, I don't think that, like, people say that like Kelly was looking for a moment. I don't know. I just think like if if it is a moment and it happens, I am going to create a moment out of it. I think it just so happened like she was talking about it with whoever was sitting there. I don't remember who she was talking to before Portia walked up. Like
Kenya.
Kelly was talking about Portia and huh?
It was Kenya, Portia, Brittany, Drew was there. It was like all of them was just in there.
No, but Portia had not walked up. I don't think Portia was in the scene at that moment. I think Portia walked in, and then that's when
Yes.
Kelly was like, "Yeah, she was. Yeah, she basically was like, yeah, I said it. I'm just wondering why you stealing men or however, whatever the
Yeah.
phrase she said. What was it? She said,
She did.
Kelly was asking
She didn't
Portia,
back
"Oh,
down.
you took that woman's man."
I like that she didn't back down. She didn't back down. And
Exactly,
I'm
because I would have did that
like,
too. If she happened to walk in the scene at that moment, I would absolutely have to continue with the moment. If you walk in at that moment, I'm talking about you, and you come in and then they put me on the spot, like, "Hey, tell her what you said." I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, I want to know why you stole that woman's man." And then that's when Portia was like, "Do I know you? What's your name?" Like, she tried to spin it back and basically like, "Don't come at me like that." More or less words. That's what Portia was saying. But Kelly was I guess they say Kelly was looking for a moment, but I think that was a good moment to bring it up and throw it at her. Like everybody talking about it, and they know Portia knows she said it. Shamia told her that she had to tell Portia. So you had like that was on her mind. Answer the question. If you don't want to answer it, fine, but I'm gonna bring it out on the scene.
yeah, I didn't have any problems with her doing it. I don't think it was a big deal. And then the episode ended with with Shamia asking Drew, "Are you dating Dennis?" And here goes Drew, the dumb face. So
I
that's how
think it was because it first came up. That subject came up because they started talking about why didn't Drew invite any of them to the party. So
yeah,
that's how Dennis came up in that topic is because Portia was like, "Well, I got an invitation, but I didn't get it through you. I got it through my baby daddy. Like, catch that tea." So basically, now Drew had to explain at that moment why Dennis was invited and nobody else was invited. And that's when Drew started to get really weird. "Oh, he was my saving grace. Like he's my producer." She went in too hard for Dennis in that moment. And I'm speaking about Drew. Like there's no way she should have said all that.
But so who was she supposed to invite? I mean, Portia, yes. She's cool with the other girls? No. Who else? Cynthia? It seems like she's not that cool, Cynthia.
Kenya, I think she could get Kenya or like any. I think she could. She had plenty of them to invite. It was Kenya. She could have invited Kenya, Cynthia,
Kenya,
Portia.
like, yeah, well, maybe she's not cool with them.
She
Maybe it
was.
was like cool. Maybe like even with the scene with Kenya and Drew,
Mm-hmm.
like they're cool. I guess they're cool. It was like it seemed like they just needed
Mm-hmm.
to film with Drew. But are they
Mm-hmm.
cool outside of the show to which you can invite her to a birthday party? And when was the birthday party? Could have been months. Could have been a year before. We don't know when the birthday party was. That's another thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, that develops. But that's how Kesha said, yeah, Portia and Shamia. Well, she said something. Wait, what did Kesha say? She said, Portia and Shamia was talking. Then Portia said she wasn't going because she couldn't fly the first class. The ticket's too expensive. Oh, I don't know. She did tickets too
I think
expensive.
she's talking about the wedding
Yeah,
when
when
like
she
I
didn't go.
told you that
Why
Portia
she
did
go
not
first
go
class?
or was not in her wedding.
So why she had to fly first class? Why she didn't go regular? Where was
And
the
you
wedding
not
at?
and that's your excuse as my best friend as to why you're not coming or in my wedding because you couldn't fly first class. I would absolutely it would be dead after that.
And where were they going? The wedding was in Africa. It was a big affair. Kimsey, wedding filmed it, and it looks like it was beautiful. Oh, well, maybe she can afford. We don't know. We don't know
I
her
guess you
pocket.
want to fly first class if you are having a wedding. If you going to Africa, I guess, but that's still
Oh
crazy.
yeah,
I'm
it was
sorry, I would have thugged it
skiing.
out for my friend. There's no
I don't
way
know
I
how
would
many
still
hours.
fly regular. You what?
All them hours. If you didn't have an uncomfortable had uncomfortable seating,
I've
I
done
mean,
it
it's a lot of
before.
hours.
I would thug it out. You wouldn't do that for your best friend?
I would think I would. I don't know. I would have to think about how many hours am I sitting in? It's not first class. How's the seats? Is
It's
my
like
back
19 hours. It's like 17. It's like 17 hours, 17, 18 hours.
in uncomfortable seats? I mean, a lot of people don't fly first class to Africa. I mean, I would if my friend really wanted me to be there. I would have to do it. I would. Yeah, that's your
I would
best friend. No.
absolutely do that for my friend. There's no way I would not show up for my if I could not fly first class, I would just have to fly economy to her to show up and show out for my best friend's wedding. No way. Unless it's like a friend of and they didn't really do a lot for me. If it's a friend that never showed up for me and wasn't there for me, or they
Yeah,
didn't really show and prove nothing to me, I wouldn't do it. But if it's my best friend and how Shamia seems like she's a great friend, I would have did it for a friend like Shamia. And that's
yeah.
why Shamia and Candy is now best friends. Candy now is the replacement, is the Portia replacement as far
Now,
as
did
best
Candy
friends
go
are
to the
concerned.
wedding? Did Candy go to the wedding?
I don't
Oh,
know. I know
that's just
that's that
everybody else from Atlanta was there, and Portia always seemed like she
okay.
had
That's what I'm saying.
Portia
Portia
always
has
acted
done a
cool.
lot of shady stuff. Yeah, Portia has
She's
done to
really
me, she's
jealous
done
of her
like a lot of just little shady things that Shamia has been kind of overlooking or either just not really talking about. I feel like she's Portia has shown this. Oh yeah. Oh, Candy did go. See?
Oh, there I said there the jealousy. She probably was just jealous of her going. And she was in Atlanta Housewives at the time. Portia seemed that she had money enough to go first class. Well, we don't know people's pockets, but all in all, that shows a little bit of jealousy. That's
Exactly. It just shows like just not having that, you're not supportive of me. And that's why I feel like Shamia she says a lot, but without really being assertive about what she's saying. That's why I'm picking up the clues she's putting down. I know she's basically saying that Candy is a true friend that she wanted in Portia. Portia has not been that supportive friend, but she found that supportive friend in Candy. And that's why she does not say it because she don't want to put them against each other. But Shamia absolutely values Candy way more than Portia, but she's just not saying it because it would be uncomfortable. So she's just playing it safe and playing it cool. They
yeah.
both are, her and Portia.
Candy look like she's a good friend and is there for her friends. She looks like a genuinely good.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it for the Sweet
Yep.
16. So one
No, but we didn't finish up with the Drew and Dennis situation.
is Jude. I don't think they. You think they're dating? I don't think so.
I mean, that was the topic. That's why they was all like grilling Drew like a cheeseburger because they want to know, is she really dating Dennis or is she just, playing like, really his artist?
I don't think they're dating. I mean, unless she has the way she was talking about him, she really values him.
Do you think
That's
she should have let Portia know that she's working with him and that he's showing up to her
she said
birthday
she
party?
did.
Do you think she was in violation? Do you think that I mean not Kenya, do you think that Portia was really mad about the go naked hair and Drew having a photo shoot of her go naked hair instead of, coming to her since she's under contract? Or do you think the real issue with Portia is she's jealous that she's working with her baby's father? Do you think Portia really had a legitimate reason to be upset with Drew?
Yes, I don't think she's jealous, but still, it's maybe that. But okay, so Drew said she told Portia about it. But I think what now Portia's probably not liking is the rumors that they possibly could be. It's more than just that. I mean, it's one thing if I'm like, oh yeah, I'm working. I don't know if Drew's really honest about her telling Portia this because Kenya actually like, oh, do you talk to Portia about? Yeah, Portia's cool and whatever about it. I think Portia's now is like questioning, like, wait a minute, are they sleeping together? And from what I heard,
Yeah.
that they were filming and Drew never said, oh, by the way, me and Dennis are gonna have some scenes where we're gonna be filming on the show. I think out of courtesy, she should have told her that. Drew should have said, like me and Dennis are gonna
Yeah. I think that's shady business on Drew's part. Like you really
Nice.
trying to get film production to go film with you and my baby's father. Like she's doing too much. And then just the way she was talking about Dennis, like how and then to me, the excuses that she was saying, like, Dennis talks to me about you all the time. He loves you. Like to me, I would be just like Portia, like, cut it out. I don't even want to hear that. Because she's just almost saying that to Portia to soften the blow. That Dennis ain't coming to Drew spilling his guts out about Portia. She is. If I know my baby father, my husband or whatever, I'ma know that Drew is lying. And she know Dennis. He is not. I even know Dennis. He is not going to Drew spilling his guts about no Portia. Stop.
About Portia, yeah. Portia was just upset because she was getting a divorce, so everyone was upsetting her. That's what Portia said on Watch What Happens. I think she was felt type when she should. Drew is wrong. Divorce or not, I think even if she was to go through the divorce, I would feel type of way.
The only thing that's annoying me with Portia is denying it, like that she's not really feeling a way about it. Like she's like, I could care less. I heard that they was working together, and I just went to go make me some pork chops and green beans or whatever she said. Like I could care less, but then that's how production edited and played her and showed like clip after clip of her kept talking about Dennis and Drew. She didn't tell me this, that. Like they kind of like let her know, like, girl, you act like you don't care, but we all know you care. And I think so. She's trying to play cool, but one minute she's saying she don't care, the next minute she cursing Drew out. Like, girl, you care, and you should care. At the end of the day, I would be more concerned about somebody that's supposed to be my friend playing games with me like that and not communicating with me what you doing with my baby's father. It's not even about Dennis at this point. It's about me and your friendship. And now I see that you don't value it. Now you cut off. That's it. End the subject.
I agree. I think she has a legitimate reason, and Drew's very shisty and cannot be trusted.
Yes.
So you see, so that was it for the first episode. I think it was good. I think it's going to be more developments to come. But so far, it was okay. It wasn't bad. I watched it and I didn't fall asleep.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to more episodes and seeing how this Dennis and Drew relationship develops. I'm looking forward to seeing Brett and Kenya fall out of her showing these, like, compromising photos. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing like Shamia and seeing how she develops.
That's what I'm saying. Brit, now that I know who she did that, she's the one with the married man. She's married. Okay, I'm interested to see how the fallout happened to where Kenya did that. I'm interested in seeing Portia come on the scene and how she meshes everyone else. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah,
Rachel coming and how they brought her.
So it's a lot to come.
Yeah. So I think it's even though they said it had low ratings. Let's see.
Yeah, they said it was the lowest of like all the seasons.
Lower than last season? Yeah, I was really shocked at that too, to be honest. They got very low ratings.
Yeah, I think, like I told you, I think Kenya had a part in that. Like I think Kenya has more supporters than you know. Because I know when they would talk about the new season or the trailer, there was always a lot of comments with Kenya supporters saying that they're not watching because Kenya's not on and they limited her role. Then they phased her out. A lot of people are not happy.
Candy? You mean Candy?
No, Kenya.
Yeah, but she's on they can watch it for some Kenya.
No, but they limited her role. Like they died down her role and limited that. They're going to phase her out. She's not going to be in a lot of the episodes. She had no confessionals. They limited her role. She's like not. She's not going to be in it.
She's not going to have no confessionals either.
No, she's not. She has no. If you notice, she wasn't in no confessionals that first episode, and she's not going to be in no confessionals. They edited her out, and then they're going to phase her out after that fallout with Brett.
Oh, so even with no can, it's okay. So no can, we'll get to that. So you think a lot of her scenes they cut out, maybe like all the one of her scenes by herself, they probably all cut those scenes out.
Absolutely, yeah. She's fixing. Everybody knows that they limited her role. They're gonna phase her out. They doing it little by little, and then so she's like just disappears.
I don't think that's why. I think Candy had a lot to do with people not watching the show.
I
Candy
think
has
both. I think it both played a part.
Yeah, but I think people still watch it until Kenya's no longer there and then stop watching. Why? If you're a fan, you're gonna watch. You know she's still on the show.
No, because her role, but a lot of people feel they did her dirty. So why would you, if you're a real fan, if somebody do you your loved one or whatever, these fans be fanatics. Like if somebody did you wrong, you're not gonna support the season. They feel like they did her wrong. They limited her role and then they fired her. Like, why would you watch that?
No,
She had no confessionals.
But I didn't even notice that.
She
But
what?
we don't know if she's wrong or not in this. We don't know. I have to see it to see if Kenya was messed up. Oh yeah, Kenya has just.
It doesn't matter at this. I mean, everybody knows what she did. Everybody knows the scene because it circulated. Like she put up some pictures what she did at her rollout of her salon or whatever. Like everybody knows what happened. Kenya probably did do too much, but at the end of the day, Shamia is not gonna like Britt either. So there might be a legitimate reason as to why Candy does not like Britt. But at the end of the day, even when somebody is wrong, whether Kenya was wrong or right, she still has her supporters that are going to support her, along with like we talking about now. Candy too. Like you said before, you pointed out, like Candy, even though to me she wasn't that interesting on the show, she had a lot of people she brought in that was not watching Housewives. You got the people that love Escape that's going to watch. So not only just Housewives, she brought a lot of her fans there too. So I think that has a lot to do with it too, why it was low ratings.
I think with Candy not being there, a lot of people. I think the low ratings had more to do with Candy. Maybe Kenya too. But let's just see if it picks up. Let's see if the ratings go up or if it's going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And if it does go down, what does it mean for Atlanta Housewives? If the ratings keep plummeting,
they're gonna have to do something again. They're gonna have to go back to the drawing board and put everybody on pause and do what they do. That's what Bravo usually do. They will have a long pause and then figure out another like plan B.
Kessa, but they had to watch it to know though. That is true. But I think they thought having Portia come back, that was gonna, because the ratings weren't that good last year. But I think they thought, oh, Portia coming back, that's gonna bring the ratings up. Obviously not.
Yeah. They trying everything. They pulling out all the stops. They need to just go knock on Nene's door and back up the Brinks truck and stop playing, because that's what's going to get the ratings in.
They need to bring Nene and they need to bring Kim Zolciak back. I think those two need to come back. And
yeah, that's the only way.
I think they need to bring Nene, Portia. I don't know. We'll see what happens next season. So it doesn't seem like Kenya is going to ever be on that show again then. They do that to her. She's not coming back next season.
I think right now they're not saying whether she's fired or suspended. And she's saying that she still is under contract with them. So you really don't know. I think it still might be under investigation. I would think the investigation is done, but I think they're not saying because they might bring her back. You don't know. I think they're just keeping everybody in limbo, including her.
Well, I really don't care if Kenya don't come back, to be honest. It doesn't affect me.
No, I do. No. She needs to come back.
It's okay for me. I really don't need to see that botched butt. Thank you. I'm tired of getting your hair salon and your daughter. So that was it. Thank you for watching. Please,
well, she brought a lot to the show.
She did, but I think her time is up. Her and Cynthia, bye-bye. Go somewhere else. Go to
no. Cynthia, yes, not Kenya at all.
Well, I'm still in defense with that. 1 minute I'm like, oh yeah, she'd be good at reading the girls, and then 1 minute I'm like, she could leave. With Phaedra there, they don't need Kenya. I don't think, because Phaedra was in the streets. But thank you for liking. So please like, subscribe, and continue to watch our YouTube channel. We have more to come when it comes to Housewives, and we will be back soon to discuss Married to Medicine. Bye.
Toodles.